Thank you so much, Taylor, for joining me in this live interview. For myself here, everyone else, hello, everyone. I am Nicholas Cruz. A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Buford. Thank you once again for taking your time out for joining me in this interview. Before we hop into all the casting call club stuff, I'm sure there are going to be a few questions I'd like to ask about it. But I want to actually get to know you, Mr. Buford. Get to know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
So, what can we know about you?
Of course. I am a dad. I've been doing CCC for 3 years now. Silicon Valley veteran. I worked at a place called Eventbrite. I was really early on there. I spent 4 years there. Grew up really humble, and now I've kind of traveled the world. So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, so you're a very big family guy, I would say, a person who likes to travel, and a Silicon veteran. That's actually pretty interesting. So with that being said, just to get to know a little bit about yourself, that's how I like to do running a lot of my interviews, kind of get to know who we're talking to and who we're working with. So you're a person that likes to travel. I'm a person that actually likes to travel. Out of the places you traveled so far, where would you say is the top places you visited so far?
Well, Japan has ruined every future vacation for me. It's so amazing over there. To give you context, I've been to most of North America except for Canada. I've been to a lot of Europe. Lived in London for a couple of years, Bulgaria for about a year, and Tokyo, Japan, blew me away. It was just it's a mega city. So there's 38 million people in Tokyo, which is roughly the population of California, right?
Right.
And so you put that many people into an area, you're going to have two things, right? It's going to be like total chaos or what they have done. They have made it so beautiful and orderly and convenient. It's just an amazing place to go. If you have not gone, you should definitely go. And not just Tokyo. Go to Hakone. An amazing volcano is over there. Go to Kyoto, Osaka. Amazing country. I love Japan.
Absolutely. I've heard some absolutely amazing things about Japan as well, as it is on my list, actually. I was planning on going to Japan last year. However, one of my best friends got me a really good deal to go to the Philippines, and I absolutely loved it in the Philippines. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was absolutely great. I loved it over there. Good times over there, and a lot of good food. And I'm sure as in Japan, there's lots and lots of good food out there, especially some good old ramen.
Yeah, Japan has a quick fact here. Japan has more Michelin star rated restaurants. Like how they measure restaurants. More Michelin star rated restaurants than the next top three countries combined.
Wow.
Did that make sense?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Hopefully that made sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I got you. So now that we understand that you traveled to Japan, and you've seen a lot about the lifestyle of Japan and the experience in Japan. Now I want to actually kind of ask you a few questions about Casting Call Club, which I think will actually kind of tie into the traveling aspect of things, if you think about it this way.
Yeah.
With Casting Call Club, I've seen it grow a lot, which I must hand it to you, which is absolutely amazing of how much it's grown over the past couple years. Just recently, I've seen you guys have voice actors come into you have like masterclass going on. You just had Ray Chase, the voice of Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, join in from Casting Call Club as well. So just seeing the growth of things is absolutely amazing. And then we come into what we call the culture of Casting Call Club. It's absolutely amazing of what you guys have done to make sure the culture is absolutely strong. It's very organic. So I just want to know a little bit about Casting Call Club. How did you come up with the idea of Casting Call Club? Where did it all begin?
Yeah, so Nick, like you, I was a broadcaster whenever I was in college, and I went to, I got an internship at like the top radio station in where I was staying at the time, and I got to know everyone over there, and they're like, yeah, this is great. I'm at the top spot. And I'm like, yeah, well, how much you making? And they weren't making what I wanted to make. They weren't making like something that I thought I could like have a family and kind of achieve my goals. Right now, keep in mind, I'm old, by the way. This is before the internet, before YouTube. No, the internet was still around. The internet was around, but YouTube was not around. There was no Twitch. You couldn't make money off of streaming anything. You had to go to a radio station to make money. And they were not making the kind of money that I wanted to, right? So I changed my major the next day to computer science. And then I kind of forgot about broadcasting for 15 years. And then I came back. I was in London. I had a company. I made a company over there. And I needed a voice actor for an explainer video for my company over there. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go back on Voice Acting Alliance, and kind of see what's going on over there. If there's anybody, kind of willing to, take this little like, 10-second reel, for $50, right? And turns out like nothing had changed. All the old places that I went to kind of just have fun back in the day were still there, but nobody had built anything that was kind of up to date, right?
Right.
And I thought to myself, you know what? Like I miss this, and I really want to, make sure that people had a better opportunity than I did back in the day. Because if I had something like Casting Call Club, or the others out there behind the Voice Acting Alliance, I love them all, by the way. And there's no ill will towards anybody out there doing what we're doing. Man, I might have stuck in it. I might have stayed in voice acting and become a real professional voice actor, right?
Right.
Now, me today, like I am not a professional voice actor. I do my best and I read the scripts, but there are so many other talented people out there who do a much better job. So that's how I got the idea. Basically, I had been doing it for as a hobby for 15 years, and I'm like, you know what? There could be something better out there,
And then, so forth, now we have the Casting Call Club, which has given a lot of opportunities for young voice actors, including myself, to get those opportunities, to get their voice heard, to be known, to actually host projects that they feel that are so important, which I absolutely love the fact that it's just not, I read a little bit about your, the about of the company, where it says that it doesn't matter what level you are, if you have something in mind that you want to do it, kind of just post it out there and make it become a reality. I want to let you know a little bit about myself as well when it came to broadcasting. I started back in 2006 at the young age of 13. I don't know if you ever heard of this radio online radio website called Blog Talk Radio. And that's where I kind of got my start back into the dipping of what we like to call our hands in the water into broadcasting. Nice. And I absolutely love it. And I can understand that I completely agree with you that the pay grade is not so great when it does come to broadcasting. Especially now because everything is streamed, everything is through other media sources now that technology has grown. But now we've seen something that is absolutely a huge upside for that as well for broadcasting, and also for other forms of platforms of media because of streaming. Now the demand for voice actors has actually risen. I would say a good percentage amount has actually risen because of the need to fit those streamers, to fit those narrators for audiobooks and such. Like now we have, when we first started electronic books, you guys remember like the Kindle, the ebook, all those things were just starting out. And now everything is becoming audio. And back in 2010, which was when I started seeing a huge growth of audio dramas. We've seen that actually kind of dip down, but now as of last year, I've seen it grow a huge, tremendous amount of need of voice actors. And it's incredible to see that the game has changed. Really, the reality of things is the game has completely changed, and now not only just because of the popularity of anime itself, because a lot of people think, well, character animation, that's what everybody loves, that's where we get our most favorite voice actors from, including those from Final Fantasy 15, like we just recently had Ray Chase who voiced Noctis. People will recognize these actors. Back in the day, you probably hear one of these voice actors and you're like, who the hell is that? And now it's become such a big thing. They're like celebrities, like rock stars, and which is a fantastic thing.
Yes.
Yeah, the rage thing.
No,
Yeah.
I think the voice acting industry is actually you're spot on, man. I think that the people today have a really good opportunity because voice back then it wasn't that big of a business. Sure there was radio, right?
Absolutely.
And it was mostly an advertising platform, right? But now there's so many different ways, for people to consume media. That voice has blown up, right? So I think right now, and I could be wrong, but it's a $29 billion industry right now, and it's grown. I think 26% year-over-year growth or around there the last 5 years straight, right? So it's a really big industry, and it's getting bigger and bigger, So
it's incredible to see this growth, and we have to thank people like yourself, Mr. Buford, again for allowing us other young amateur voice actors to get our voices heard. There's quite a few other young voice actors who became professionals through doing smaller projects and then growing from there. Just like in theater, doing acting, some people play as an extra, and then they get other roles. They do understudies, and they build up, and next thing you know, they're on Broadway. Or they even learn how to become a director. Myself included, right now, I'm starting my own project, my own studio project called OpenHouseStudio, where we are hosting original content, original audio dramas, and I'm always in constant need of finding voice actors. And the platform such as Casting Call Club has definitely given me the opportunity to grow and find the new actors that we need. Currently, we're helping produce a video game because of it, and those are the little things that we're starting to notice. It's that these platforms have given opportunities for the younger no voice actors that need that extra push, that extra oomph to find their ability to grow their projects. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit about how you came up with the idea of Casting Call Club, where do you see the future of Casting Call Club? Because again, I see you guys are hosting the master class. You guys had a couple more voice actors coming in. So what was kind of the idea behind it? Because I know I've seen, actually, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this app called Amino, where they've hosted voice actors come in and they talk about what the voice acting industry is like. Is that something you guys want to keep following suit, or?
Yeah, I think we're just going to continue to explore, right? So Casting Call Club right now is small. I mean, it's a really small place. You think that it's big because there's 80,000 people on there, and it's like it's got a pretty good following, right? But it's so small compared to what it could be, right? So we're going to continue to explore. We're going to look into master classes. We're going to look into offering escrow services to protect both voice actors and the director. We're going to look into making a brand at our own, so making YouTube content ourselves, streaming stuff ourselves, right? Maybe working with places like what you mentioned with OpenHouseStudio, to kind of cross promote each other. All sorts of things we're going to look into, right? So I think that there's also an opportunity to not just have voice acting there, but also kind of have crew recruiting there. So you need to find an editor. There's lots of editors kind of hanging around Casting Call Club right now,
right?
Who don't really have a project to work on, or are looking for the next professional thing, right? So for example, there was 2 years ago, there was a guy named Mark who came on Casting Call Club as the real Lord Frieza. I don't know if you heard of that guy, but so he came on board, and this guy was a troll basically the whole time, and he started the YouTube channel, and he went from 0 to 150,000 subscribers in 1 year, basically, right? Which is pretty good, and he did that by just constant hustle, constant putting out efforts to getting like his name out there, right? And I think that that's the kind of opportunity that I want to provide for more people. Even if they're not as like hustle based as Mark, they can still find projects that are going places. So that's the idea, really.
And I think it's a great idea, especially we once I mentioned earlier that we've seen some of these young actors that do either like a bridge series or parody series, and they get their voices out there and they become professionals, or they get their spotlight noticed, just for being a character that they voice and doing impersonations, which is a few that I've actually seen that is heavily requested for different projects on Casting Call Club, finding the right impersonator to do certain voices. The one that I usually get requested to do is either Gorokechi from Persona 5, Yu Norakami from Persona 4, because I kind of have I can either do a Johnny Young Bosch voice or kind of a Robbie Damon voice, so I kind of get how these a lot of requests are for those, which is fantastic opportunities for like a young voice actor myself, trying to get his voice out there, trying to be known, but also it's great because not only do you kind of get best of both worlds if you think about it in this perspective. You get the best of the Abridged series world, and you get the best of the original content work as well, because the reason being is that we see the Abridged series, you're fantastic, you can do impersonations, but a lot of the times when you do, voice acting for other companies, let's just say Funimation or Viz Media, they don't want to just hear impersonations. They want to hear your range. They want to hear what kind of toning you have, which is a huge thing. Yeah. So now that the fact that you have a list, which if you notice on Casting Call Club, for those who are not aware of Casting Call Club, you actually have a list of all your auditions right there. So you can pull it up and just say, all right, this is an audition I did. Take a listen to this. What do you think of this, of the range of I did here? Or, hey, this is an accent you were looking for. What do you think of this accent? And it kind of builds up a nice little portfolio of auditions that you've done. And then, of course, once you get casted, you get a notification, then you can kind of show off your voice from there, which I think is a really, really neat that everything's absolutely organized for someone that's trying to get a little best of both worlds, rather than have to, scour for a certain audition or try to find through a billion files to for an audio file they're trying to send off to let's just say another company. So I think that's fantastic how the organization works, but it also gives you best of both worlds in terms of original content and parody or bridge series, whatever you like to call it as well. Which actually kind of it's not perfect. It's getting better and better. I think at Casting Call Club, right? So I appreciate that. Thank you. No, it's my pleasure. And the thing that's interesting is that we see the growth of Casting Call Club. We continue to see it rise. Once again, with all the new things that you guys are having come out. So, what are some other future things you guys are also planning in terms of the mechanics of Casting Call Club? Do you want to have maybe like a feature in the future where it will be live messaging rather than through emailing? Or are you guys thinking of doing something? Because I know you guys did the group chat just recently, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe this was just a new feature I just recently found out about. You guys kind of have like a group project chat. Are you thinking maybe implementing like a live video? So you can have a one-on-one talk with the director itself? Would that be something that might be implemented in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on. So I have a giant list right now that we look at, and we kind of debate on what's the best thing to build, first. And the video chat has come up before. The group chat that we have right now, there's a lot of things we can do to improve that, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the issue right now is that we have a great kind of collection of voice actors, right?
Right.
Which is excellent. There's 80,000 of them, right? But there's not a great collection of directors right now. I think that's the next focus really for CCC. We want to make sure that really top-notch quality directors come on board. So you bring directors on board. Voice actors are not happy because they're getting paid, and it's the best of both worlds, right? The directors are getting top quality voice actors, and VAs are getting paid, right? So we're going to be building tools for directors.
Oh, that's
in
absolutely,
the near future.
I think that's absolutely great news, especially for someone like myself. I've written 2 original audio dramas that have been copyrighted already, already copyrighted and sent out, and it's protected by the U.S. government. And the first one is completely finished. The first production is called Darcy and the Multi-Spectrum Adventure, which I'll be very honest, this is even way before I knew about Casting Call Club, and this is my first production in general, and my first role taking up as a voice actor. But, it's if these kind of things help us improve our quality of production. Because I'll be very honest, Darcy and the Multi-Spectrum Adventure, the quality of it doesn't sound good, but the message behind it's so powerful. It's talking about mental health awareness. It's talking about, because my studio does a lot of philanthropy, so we talk about a lot about, mental health. We talk about, autism. We try to reach out and send out those messages. And, I wish the audio quality would be great, but the story's so well. So for a director myself to hear news like that, that's absolutely fantastic, because I can say, well, you know what, at that time, I didn't have all these tools, but if I know now that I have all these tools, this production would sound amazing, would capture a lot more of an audience. So that's fantastic news to hear, that the directors will now have this new ability sometime in the future to say, hey, listen, you guys get paid, you know what, but we're going to have top-notch actors to make it sound, like an amazing production as well. So that's fantastic news to hear as well. Now, before we kind of wrap up our interview here, Mr. Buford, so now, if you don't mind giving me a little bit more of a rundown, what are some other future things, or what is your end game of the year, or I know it's kind of since we started in January here, but what are your major plans for Casting Call Club? What are your major goals for Casting Call Club for this year?
For this year, yeah. So that's a great question. I think that 2018 is a year of exploration and experimentation. So we're doing lots of different things, right? So on the website side, we're doing the new tools for directors. So we're just adding features constantly, right? On the education side, we're doing these master classes. This one sold out in 12 hours. So we're really excited about the direction of where that can go. And so I think we'll be adding some more classes as soon as we get some curriculum written and people to kind of teach them. And then we're looking into this whole Twitch and YouTube thing. Making a brand of our own. So a lot of experimentation. We're also talking with a company in China about bringing some original anime from China over and dubbing them ourselves professionally, right?
Right.
So, and then kind of promoting those, So there's lots of different things we're looking into right now. So it's hard to say. We're just looking around, experimenting.
Well, I can say it seems like it's going to be a very exciting, very, very, very exciting year for Casting Call Club. So now, Mr. Buford, so where can they find out some more information about Casting Call Club for those who want to learn how to sign up or become a gold member? Can you mind giving us some information here?
Yeah. So just go to www.casting.club, or sorry, castingcall.club is what it's called. And that's 1,200 new projects per month, with about 80,000 other voice actors. So, do you think it's going to be awesome for you? Even if you're using your iPhone as a microphone, there are tons of people in the community who will help you. Tell you, how to make it sound amazing, how to, balance your audio, remove plosives, remove echo in the room, all sorts of things. Tips and tricks everywhere. That's it.
All right, well, Mr. Buford, thank you so much for taking your time out for letting me do this interview with you. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you, and I cannot wait to continue looking forward to seeing the growth of Casting Call Club. Of course, everyone else that would be in my class that are listening, I want you guys to give a virtual round of applause to Mr. Buford, even though I know he won't be able to hear, but, if you're in the class, give a nice round of applause to Mr. Buford for doing an amazing job with Casting Call Club and really giving us young voice actors an opportunity in the field. Until then, guys, if you have any more questions, you know where to find them. It's going to be www.castingcall.club, correct, if I'm not mistaken, where you can go to the website, sign up now. It is free to sign up, get your voice heard, get your projects coming to life, and don't forget, it's all thanks to this wonderful man, Mr. Buford. Mr. Buford, thank you so much.
Thank you.